Hey everybody, I'm Zach.
And I'm Jesse.
You're watching Tesla Time News.
Episode 530.
Now you know. It's now official. Tesla has launched the Model Y Standard for $39,990.
Our viewers were not surprised by the price because we reported on the leaked Tesla website code that contained this variant a couple weeks ago. But I get it. Some people were hoping for a cheaper price.
I've been saying it all along. I didn't think Elon wanted to cut the range to, lower the price, and he didn't. 321 miles of EPA estimated range on this Model Y Standard. That's 15 miles more than the Performance Edition.
And only 6 miles less than the all-wheel drive Premium Edition.
So, with the Model Y Standard, now you are limited to just 3 paint colors. Stealth Gray is included.
Pearl Multicoat White is an extra $1,000.
And Diamond Black is an extra $1,500.
There are 2 new wheel choices, including the new Prismata 18-inch wheels that Tesla teased the other day. Those will get you the 321 miles of range.
Or you can go with the 19-inch Nova wheels for an additional $1,500, but you'll lose 18 miles of range.
So this is one of the ways that they helped, was to give you the 18-inch wheel, and the tires are pretty efficient that they put on there.
Are they wheels though, or are these like stamped steel? Is that how they got the price down? Like, because we don't see any of the wheel, it's all covered.
So I mean, in the past, Tesla, like when they rolled out the Model 3, the base, the base level Model 3s came with a wheel cover, but it went over it was still a pretty custom wheel. It still looked pretty good. In this case, we don't know what's under the wheel cover. It could be like literally stamped like a steely wheel.
I think it might be to reduce costs. Let's find out as soon as they start rolling out.
You can only choose all black interior, which is textile decor. There's no micro suedes or carbon fiber.
Your steering wheel is going to be manual adjust, so you're going to have to remember how to do that. There's a lever, and then you pull it down, and then you push the lever again.
There's no 8-inch touchscreen in the back seat.
The seats will be dual tone with textile and vegan leather, not perforated.
The first row seats are heated, but not ventilated. And the second row seats are not heated, and they're manually folding, not power folding.
The second row gets manual adjusted air vents, and you'll have to manually fold your side view mirrors with no auto dimming.
Also, the front seat is adjustable electronically, but they removed the controls from the side of the seat, and instead you have to do it on the screen.
Oh, wow. So just like less buttons?
They're literally saving money on buttons, switches, and dials. For ride comfort, you get passive shock absorbers, not the frequency-dependent shock absorbers on the premium variant.
Your 0 to 60 time will be slower, 0 to 60 in 6.8 seconds as opposed to 4.6 seconds in the all-wheel drive premium.
This might be the slowest Tesla ever.
Maybe.
You don't get a subwoofer with the audio system. In fact, there are half as many speakers as the premium, only 7 speakers in the standard compared to 15 plus a subwoofer in the other variants.
There is a glass roof, but it's closed. So you'll see glass on the outside, but inside the car, it is not panoramic. Now, maybe customers in hot, sunny states will prefer this. I would really like to know in the comments if this is something that you would prefer if you live in, say, New Mexico.
And I don't know what prevents you from taking a razor blade and cutting off the covering and then...
Maybe just like glued on really well.
Yeah, I guess the glue, ooh, that would stuck. You don't get the HEPA filter and bioweapon defense mode, just a particulate and odor filter, so normal car filter stuff.
You get regular LED headlights, so no adaptive high beams, and there's no light bar across the front and no light bar in the back. Standard with the Standard, you'll get traffic-aware cruise control, but no auto steer. And you get FSD Supervised for $8,000, just like all the others, for as long as you own the car, or currently you can subscribe for $99 a month. So this is really cool. This has all the hardware and cameras for full self-driving, which is awesome.
And Tesla says that the Standard will be available starting in December.
So getting back to the price, I know that everyone was wanting a $25,000 Tesla, but I'd just like to point out that the average new car MSRP in America as of August is $51,099. So the Model Y Standard is $11,000 cheaper than the average car price in America.
And you're getting the safest car on the road, all for under 40 grand.
It was already the best-selling car in the world, and I think this is just going to keep it cemented in the #1 spot. Thanks to Ground News for sponsoring this episode.
U.S. auto safety regulators are investigating Tesla due to failures of door handles in 2021 Tesla Model Y vehicles, which have been linked to issues with their low-voltage batteries.
But depending on where you get your news, you might not have heard about this, and the story might look completely different.
That's exactly why we keep partnering with Ground News, an app and website that doesn't just show you the most important stories of our time, they show you the bias, credibility, and financial interests driving the different narratives.
Follow the story at ground.news/NYK, and you'll see how uneven the coverage really is.
Out of over 240 reporting sources Ground News analyzed, 88% came from left-leaning outlets.
Now take a look at these two headlines, one from the right, one from the left. Just a single word can completely shift the framing and lead readers to see the story in completely different ways.
This is exactly the partisan spin that fuels public division. When the news is filtered through political lenses, it's almost impossible to get the full story, and the result is more outrage, more confusion, and more conflict.
Ground News was founded by a former NASA engineer with one mission in mind, to help people break free from echo chambers and see the full picture. And we knew our viewers would love what they've built.
From their interest feeds that help us track developments on the stories we bring to you guys, to their blind spot feeds that surface other important stories one side of the spectrum is missing or ignoring. Ground News has truly become a better, smarter version of the doom scrolling we were already doing.
Which is why we got our viewers 40% off the same unlimited Access Vantage plan that we've been using every day.
That's just $5 a month for clarity and context when you go to ground.news/NYK or scan the QR code.
Ground News helps us stay curious, think critically, and stay grounded, and we know it'll do the same for you.
And quietly, Tesla also launched the 3 standard.
Yeah, a whole lot of car with a panoramic glass roof, by the way, for $36,990.
And over 300 miles of EPA estimated range.
Now, we won't go through all the features. They're very similar to the Model Y, where we give up some of the comforts to get the lower price. But I would just like to point out that when the Model 3 was first announced, and Tesla actually got one of the variants under $35,000.
In fact, the one that I'm driving today.
Right. That was an amazing achievement for Tesla to hit the $35,000 price point with such an incredible, fun, safe, long-range EV. And in 2016 dollars, when the Model 3 was announced, today's price of $36,990 would actually have cost about $27,000.
So Tesla's been able to keep lowering the price in constant dollars, meaning more people can afford Teslas than ever before.
And you don't have to take my word for the math, okay? AJ posted it with all the sources right here, and Elon said,
correct.
So I just want to point that out. Tesla's not trying to keep getting people into luxury cars. They're actually trying to get the price down so that more and more people can afford it. And this is living proof. This is actually cheaper above $35,000. You're like, what? But in today's dollars, it's actually cheaper.
Now, there is the argument that some people are making that Tesla could have done this earlier. Tesla could have released this watered down version of the 3 and the Y earlier, gotten the $7,500 tax credit for it, and people could have been driving off in basically a $25,000 car.
Yes, but doing it now when the $7,500 tax credit disappeared is actually the better way to do it, in my opinion.
It obviously is because, well, I mean, depending on the way you want to look at it, to me, it keeps their brand image strong for as long as possible while keeping the price relatively low. It's roughly the same price as it's been this whole time. I mean, we're talking about like the sticker price. Oh my gosh. But Tesla always knew that they were getting the $7,500 tax credit up until a certain point. And so they probably had, a list of things that they were going to cut from the Y and the 3. And now we're seeing what that list was.
So now that version 14 of FSD Supervised has been released, and no, as of recording this show this morning, Tesla has not sent it to any of our vehicles.
But others have got it and started testing it. So thank you to everyone who's been sharing their videos.
Zach from Black Model 3 has been driving practically around the clock since he got 14.1 and is really impressed, talking about how 14.1 can do a bunch of things now. So back into parking spaces in parking lots.
Reading signs in garages to guide the car to the exit.
The new hurry mode is quicker, he says, and more assertive.
And the new sloth mode is super gentle and sticks to the speed limit you set.
Yeah. He said starting in FSD has no delay now. It just goes as soon as you hit the button.
He said perfect parking at superchargers.
And 14.1 moves over for construction cones, even if there's lone cones, and then construction workers holding stop signs. It pays attention to them too.
We can't wait to get our hands on it, so comment down below what you'd like to see us test when we get it.
Elon said, great work by the Tesla AI team, and much more still to come. By version 14.3, your car will feel like it's sentient.
I just love scanning for life forms.
Now, Phil Dwan, who works on Tesla's FSD, posted Tuesday, turns out max speed was still too complicated, so we deleted it altogether. The best part is no part. Speed profiles are much more responsive with version 14, and if you really want to drive slowly, try the new Sloth profile. Yeah! I think a lot of people are actually going to like that. Ashok Elaswamy, who is Tesla's lead on AI, said Tesla self-driving can reverse to get out of potentially dangerous positions. So check this out. So this can happen to the best of us, right? You pull into an intersection to do a left turn, but the light changes before you can get through the intersection. Here, you're seeing FSD 14 back up safely to clear the intersection back to the stop here on red line. Obviously, you can't always do that if there's a car behind you, but this is showing that the car automatically will do it if it can to stay as safe as possible. Wow. I think that's really incredible. Elon said many more Tesla self-driving version 14 improvements still to come, but wide rollout of version 14.1 has begun. 14.2 rolls out in a few weeks, and then 14.3 a few weeks later, depending on safety testing. There's so much change that we are carefully confirming each one. If it's a wide rollout, then how come I'm still haven't gotten it yet? I did the dance. I did the reset.
What's the dance?
Oh, I've got a dance. It's 14 times you tap on the car.
Didn't work anywhere on the car?
No, I mean, it's a whole dance. I have
there's
choreographed,
a special
but
spot?
it didn't work.
You're talking crazy.
And if you have a new Model 3 released earlier this year without that left turn signal stock and you really want it back,
Tesla is now offering a retrofit kit in the United States for $595.
Now, you'll need to have your Model 3 in your Tesla account for it to show up on Tesla's website, which is why not many people have noticed it.
Tesla kept the turn signal stock for the new Juniper Model Y because I guess so many people missed the stock.
Now, I drive your Cybertruck sometimes, and it's really not hard to get used to the steering wheel turn signal buttons, but I guess it can be hard to teach an old dog new tricks. I just feel like people should just drive it every day this way without the turn signal, and you do get used to it, don't you?
I mean, I do get back in your Model Y with the turn signal, and then I'm like, oh, the wipers are on. I meant to put on the left turn blinker.
I think that's really a good point for people that have like a 2-car family and you're switching, sometimes you drive your wife's car or something. That's, I think, the biggest problem. I think if it's your daily driver, it's not hard to get used to.
Right.
All right, it's time for the Cybertruck Roundup. Yeehaw!
The Cybertruck Roundup.
So in a recent episode of Tulsa, Season 3, Episode 2, a character hides out in the back of a Cybertruck and avoids death by bullets.
Some fans posted on social media that the tailgate on a Cybertruck isn't bulletproof.
Well, Wes Morrill, Tesla's lead Cybertruck engineer, says otherwise. He said, have seen a lot of people correcting that the tailgate won't stop bullets, but actually, it can. Tailgate is 1.4 millimeter thick HFS, which is the same as the sail panel. In our demo video, the sail does stop the Tommy gun bullets. The doors have more stopping power at 1.8 millimeter thick. We're going to show you the full scene on Patreon bonus stories today because we can't show it to you here.
Interesting. So not as thick, the tailgate, but still bulletproof.
That's right.
I mean, it depends on what bullets. There's nothing that's truly bulletproof because you can just make a bigger bullet. Hey, and when can we expect to get FSD 14 for our Cybertruck?
Elon did respond to that. He said the all-wheel steering of Cybertruck requires a bit more autopilot training. So he didn't say 2 weeks. He didn't say anything, actually. It's just going to take longer. So it's not coming as soon as we're going to get it on the Y. So Jesse and I are proud to release our third Now We Build video over on our new Now We Build YouTube channel.
In this new episode, we're going to show you how we designed and built our amazing shop storage bin cabinets for 2 different types of storage bins.
Yeah, this was after months of research, and we have been using them now for months as well, and they are awesome.
And thank you to everyone who subscribed to Now We Build. We've almost reached 2,000 subscribers so far, and it'll be great if this video pushed us over. So go watch it and see if this doesn't give you ideas for how to organize your spaces.
All right, it's time for some SpaceX news, and Elon reposted this from Starlink. Starlink Direct to Cell is the largest 4G coverage provider on Earth. Over 7 million people across 5 continents already rely on Starlink to connect their LTE phones to data, voice, video, and messaging where terrestrial service is unavailable.
So there are currently 650 satellites in Starlink's network that provide direct-to-cell communications, and more are being launched every week.
All right, it's time for our video contributor stories. Let's see what we got this week. What is it, Jess?
Joe drove down to Starbase, all on FSD in a 2022 Model 3.
Hi, Zach and Jesse. This is Joe, and I'm here to tell you about my recent road trip in my 2022 Standard Range Model 3 from New York all the way down to Starbase, Texas to watch the launch of Starship Flight 10.
On the way down, it was 1,980 miles, and on the way back, it was about 2,100 because I made a detour to see the Tesla Gigafactory in Austin. So round trip, about 4,200 miles. Once at Starbase, I was able to take some photos near the Starbase sign and factory, then travel down the road past the original Starhopper for an up-close view of the Starship upper stage and booster. It's wild how close you can get, as the SpaceX fence is only a couple hundred feet from the launch pad. Seeing it up close and in person was amazing, and you can really appreciate the size of the rocket. While walking on the public beach, I met some friends of the show, Ellie in Space and Joe Tagmeyer. And later that day, I met Tim Dodd, the everyday astronaut, at a space-themed bar called Hopper House, all of which were kind enough to chat for a few minutes. And if you're going to make a trip down, I recommend using the Everyday Astronaut's Guide, as it has everything you need to know on your trip to Starbase.
And a major highlight of the trip was full self-driving. Even with Hardware 3 in my car, the driving experience was amazing. I used FSD the entire time, with the only exception of in parking lots. I only took it out twice, and those 2 times were because my foot accidentally hit the brake when I was moving around in the car. Other than that, I didn't have to take it out at all. I had 0 safety critical interventions. This trip just simply would not have been possible in any other vehicle other than a Tesla, just because of the FSD. There's just no way I would have been able to drive 4,200 miles in 7 days without any kind of incident or breaking a sweat or being too fatigued to do anything else.
For example, I would periodically ask Rock for great local food places and things to see, and it suggested just 15 minutes off the highway, a hiking and climbing trail to the 1,100-foot summit of Pinnacle Mountain State Park, just outside of Little Rock, Arkansas. This trip was so much easier because I chose to drive an EV. All the stops were pre-planned by the car, which were welcome for bathroom breaks and food. It drove the entire time. It was stress-free. There was no wrong turns, no missed exits. I could just sit back and watch the miles roll by. And FSD does not take the fun out of driving. It makes it more enjoyable because now farther destinations become possible. So thank you, Zach and Jesse and the Now You Know team. I can't wait to share my next road trip with you and get some more use out of my car camping bed. Now you know.
Bye.
Thank you so much, Joe. That was really fun, really informative. I'm so glad you sent that in. Look, if you have a cool thing to tell us, send it in to hello@nowyouknowchannel.com because we would love to get you on the show. All right, it's time for the Patreon bonus stories. Let's head on over there. And don't forget, you can get your bonus stories and you can get your chance to win the Tesla Model Y front cooler. So all for as little as $1 a month. We'll see you there. All right, we're back from Patreon bonus stories. Time for the shout outs. Who do we got today?
Got Jesse Lev,
Adam Scalata,
John Kipfer,
Kevin Hand,
and Michael Jordan.
the Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan?
I didn't do the research. I say what they tell me to say.
All right, it's time for Elon's X's of the week. Peter Diamante said how quickly we went from discussing AI to AGI, and now every conversation is about superintelligence, insane velocity.
Elon said super insane progress.
He went on to say OpenAI is planning a multi-square mile superbrain powered by 10 billion GPUs that's literally tiling the earth with intelligence.
And Elon said small potatoes.
Elon reposted XAI posting introducing Imagine version 0.9, our new video generation model with massive upgrades from version 0.1 in visual quality, motion, audio generation, and more, now available for free on all our products. And I'm not going to bore you with the 10,000 videos that Elon posted, but here's one from Deborah about the final scene from King Kong revisited by Grok Imagine.
Wow.
Yeah, some pretty cool stuff. And this is just version 0.9. Elon said incarcerating repeat violent offenders causes violence to drop and many innocent lives to be saved. Thank you for joining us today, everybody.
Don't forget to enter for your chance to win the Model Y front cooler over on our Patreon.
Yeah, just $1 a month gets you all of our Patreon bonus stories and chances to win great prizes. So what are you waiting for?
We'll see you guys again on Sunday.
Now you know.